How can somebody support families that have a baby?
That's a great question. Meals, meals delivered to the hospital, meals at their house, offer to watch their other kids. A lot of times, that's why people can't come and visit, is because they have no childcare for their other kids. So, offer to watch their other kids. Money, money for the cafeteria, gas cards for those families that don't have a lot of money, like things like that. Support your Ronald McDonald House. A lot of our patients use the Ronald McDonald House. You can donate to them, or however you want to do that. Just being there uh, for that family. If they have transportation issues, offer to drive them there so they can visit their kids. Um, you know, and the words that you use. Oh, it's going to be okay. Like, it's going to be fine. You don't know that. You don't know that. It's better to just say that I'm here for you. I'm thinking about you. I'm praying for you. I'm sorry you're having to go through this. Supportive words that aren't judging, that aren't damaging, you know. Those are ways that you can support families in the NICU. And like, make them a goodie bag, like give them some cookies and some lotions and a toothbrush and some toothpaste and dental floss and a hairbrush and just little things that they can take with them, because they're not going to have time to take care of themselves the way that they normally would. So those little things would help them. Bag of snacks, water bottles, so they don't have to buy them at the cafeteria. Our cafeteria sucks. It's horrible. It's the worst one in all of the hospitals. It's ugh. We got a big brand new hospital, and they're like, oh, look at the cafeteria, it's gorgeous. I was like, are you getting a new chef? Because until that happens, nothing's changing. It's going to still be the same horrible food, and it is, and a big beautiful cafeteria that they can't even staff. So give your friends gift cards to fast food restaurants so they can go and get takeout or whatever, and things like that. Go do their laundry. Go do their laundry, go clean their house, go do those errands for them that they're incapable of doing right now. All those little things that add up. That's what you can do to help your people with hospitalized children.
Does the NICU offer support, like resources for families that maybe like other families that can get together, other NICU families or families, unfortunately, I hate to say, but when the families have to make the choices of pulling the plug, or the families of the ones that they lose a baby, is there offered resources for all the different types of families?
Yeah, at ours is, and I think at most major NICUs there is. We have Always in My Heart, a huge bereavement program. It ties in with our labor delivery side. Great program run by my friends. So yeah, we definitely have that. We have monthly meetings for grief support, and we have annual events at different times of the year, like in October, at Christmas, in June. We do annual events with those families for bereavement. And then as far as NICU family support, we were starting that and COVID hit. So I don't know where we're at with that. I know that I can think of her name. I know her name. I'm not going to shout it out, but they were working really hard with our professional governance committee at our magnet program and getting us parent support group up and running. And honestly, I don't know where we're at on that. I don't know if they're doing Zoom. I don't think so. I think everything just kind of got on hold, and I don't know where we're at in that process right now. So that was something that was happening and then gone. So, yeah, because parents do need support.
My son's NICU stay was pre-COVID, but the NICU I was in had a couple different things. They would do weekly different, and I think the social work department kind of organized it because there was a community room, and that's where, because you weren't supposed to like eat or anything in the NICU room, so you go to the little community room to that's where you would eat. So people would go in there to eat if they didn't really want to go too far from the NICU, but didn't want to go all the way to it was quite a distance to get. You got to go, it's really far to get to the cafeteria and stuff. Not a bad idea to just go to it some days just to get out, but you could just have your snacks, whatever there. So in that same room, they would have different organized events, and some of them were focused around support of the NICU experience, and some of them were totally unrelated to the NICU experience and designed to be a total escape from what you were. So it was a totally different focus. It was a craft related thing, or I'm trying to remember, and I didn't participate in much of them, mainly because my husband at the time, he would switch with me, and they did a lot of them in the evenings, and he would send me home to be with my daughter, and he would be there. So I didn't do much with them, but I did know that parents, especially once you were real NICU long haulers that had to be in there for a long time, participated in them quite a bit. And then there was something that, again, I'm sure is on hold with COVID right now to some extent, but there was parent volunteers who came in a couple of times a week, and they would just kind of come in, and you could say, no, thank you, I don't want them to come in your room. But a lot of people were just like, yay, adult interaction. And they would come in and have just be like, I've been there, and I, shared experience, but as a layperson, just as another parent to parent,
Right.
I really liked that. So they did something like that when I had a couple of times she came in while I was there, and she was really lovely as well. So they did that. And then the last thing I would say in my NICU experience is they had it was Ronald McDonald house. So they had a spot now that housed, it was off of the hospital, and there was housing in this off hospital Ronald McDonald house for families who had to commute very far distances from the hospital. It would actually be like temporary housing for them while their baby was there. But then there was like a Ronald McDonald charity run funded portion right off the hospital that every day families who had kids in the NICU could go just get like fresh coffee, pastries, be away from the NICU for a second, and was just a space, like a gathering space. There was a sibling childcare center there as well. So
yeah,
Yep.
we have that as well. Things have changed with COVID.
Yep,
Right now,
sure.
it's really hard to get into Ronald McDonald. You have to have a test every week to be there, to stay there, which can be kind of hard to do. We don't have a strong parental support group. I don't know why. I don't think that we have the people to just get it going. I don't know if it's social work or child life or who would be, but we, unfortunately, for being a level 4 NICU, I do think that's where we have a shortfall. And as much as I
wonder if you could leverage on a volunteer basis if the social work program, because obviously social work is a specialized in and of itself.
They
They're licensed
to mentor it, and I think finding that person to mentor it so that it stays to be a support group and not a bitch session.
Right. That's where outside of just like, so outside of even just the ones that are like a support group of that, where it's more, I mean, there's an important need and space for just sharing experiences, but even just the broad spectrum of family support services, I wonder if you could leverage, or if they could leverage former NICU families who are interested, because oftentimes former NICU families are very motivated to give back to what was, given to them if they had a positive experience, or, their time in the NICU is a very specific, time in their life. Usually I just know most of the things I see, like at our Golisano Children's Hospital, all of the donations, all of the fundraising events, the campaigns, they're often just grassroots movements from former NICU families who just want to give back in some way. So I do know, like, there's nothing more precious than your baby has been cared for by these people. And so I would say, in terms of the sustainability of it on a volunteer and from a budgetary standpoint too, former NICU families are highly motivated to give back, and they're going to want to do it even most likely on a volunteer basis.
No, I even remember her coming and talking to us, and it was so close. And I don't know where I haven't checked on that. I'm no longer part of that group I was part of the group that was getting it going, and then I left that group on my unit. So I don't even know where they're at with that right now, but yes, definitely need it. Definitely need better support.
COVID has everything so crazy right now. Like COVID everyone's just trying to like baseline meet bare minimum things.
I think we just need to learn how to cope with COVID. COVID's never going to go away. So